Bound talking 3-on-1. Charles to Derek, and he pounds. Again, Cleveland shows pressure. Barkley runs right by everybody.
In the mid-1990s, Philadelphia's basketball scene was buzzing with raw talent, but one name in particular started to ripple throughout the city. A teenager whose game looked like it was forged for the NBA long before he even finished high school. The son of a former pro, he was already turning gems into his personal stage, blending a ferocious work ethic with skills that seemed impossibly polished for his 16-year-old. His name, of course, was Kobe Bryant. But before the world knew him as the Black Mamba, before the championships, the rivalries, the endless debates about where he ranks all time, Kobe was just a kid from Lower Merion High School who was so advanced that even NBA players couldn't quite believe what they were seeing. And the man who gave him his first true shot to prove it? John Lucas, the head coach of the Philadelphia 76ers, a coach with a reputation for opening his practices to up-and-coming kids, a mentor who believed in giving young hoopers a taste of the highest level. In the spring of 1995, Lucas extended an invite to a local 16-year-old phenom named Kobe Bryant to come work out with his Sixers. What happened next would become legend. At the time, Lucas was already familiar with the Bryant family. Joe Jellybean Bryant, Kobe's father, had played in the NBA before carving out a successful career overseas, and Kobe had spent much of his childhood in Italy before returning to Pennsylvania. While most kids were struggling with algebra homework, Kobe was grinding in empty gyms, studying Michael Jordan tape, and talking openly about skipping college to go straight to the NBA. Lucas heard the whispers. This high school junior wasn't just dominating teenagers, he was dismantling everyone. College players, summer league stars, even grown men who thought a kid couldn't handle them were walking away in disbelief. Lucas had to see this for himself. So after watching Kobe play just a single game, Lucas extended an invitation that would change the course of basketball history. Come run with the Sixers. Think about that for a second. At 16, most kids are still learning how to parallel park. Kobe was about to step onto the floor against Jerry Stackhouse, Clarence Weatherspoon, and the rest of the Philadelphia 76ers roster. The Sixers weren't exactly expecting much. Stackhouse, then a rookie fresh off his time at North Carolina, probably thought he was about to take it easy on some kid still worried about prom. Clarence Weatherspoon? Same thing. These were grown men with contracts, NBA muscle, and reputations to protect. But Kobe didn't just show up to blend in. From the opening possessions, he came at them hard. He wasn't intimidated, he wasn't starstruck. He was looking pros dead in the eye and going right at their throats. As Stackhouse would later admit, Kobe cooked him. Pull-ups, spins, fadeaways, drives to the rim, all of it was on display. Clarence Weatherspoon recalled, he was only 16, 17, but he had that look in his eye. He was fearless. He came in like he belonged. This wasn't a polite scrimmage where a young kid just gets to touch the ball and maybe score a bucket or two. Kobe was putting in real work. The same moveset that would later terrorize the NBA. The footwork, the balance, the fadeaway jumper. It was all there already. What shocked the Sixers most wasn't just that Kobe could hold his own, is that he looked like he was already ready. His conditioning, his confidence, his swagger, it all screamed NBA. John Lucas, watching from the sideline, was floored. You could just see it, Lucas would later say. He was different, not just talented, he was obsessed. The players felt it too. Jerry Stackhouse was the prized rookie, but here was this high school kid pulling moves on him like it was nothing. It wasn't about who scored more buckets that day. It was about the statement Kobe made. I'm not waiting, I'm already here. Word spread quickly. Players started talking. A kid from Lower Merion had walked into an NBA practice and acted like he belonged there. Kobe himself barely cracked a smile. He wasn't there for validation. He wasn't there to make friends. He was there to measure himself against the league, and he left convinced that he could play in it. That conviction would fuel one of the boldest decisions in NBA history. Because less than a year later, when the 1996 NBA draft rolled around, Kobe didn't even bother with college. He entered the draft straight out of high school, one of only a handful of players ever to attempt such a leap at the time. The Sixers, of course, didn't draft him. With the #1 overall pick, they took Allen Iverson, another generational talent who would go on to become Kobe's rival and peer. Instead, Kobe slid down to the 13th pick, where he was officially selected by the Charlotte Hornets and then traded to the Los Angeles Lakers. But Lucas never forgot that workout. "I knew then," he'd later say, "he was going to be special." Looking back now, the story feels almost mythological. Kobe Bryant, still in high school, torching NBA players at 16. But it was very real. That workout became one of the earliest signs that Kobe wasn't just another high school prospect. He wasn't Kevin Garnett 2.0. He wasn't a kid banking on athleticism alone. He was a worker, a grinder, an assassin already sharpening his blade before he even had his diploma. Even in those days, Kobe's competitiveness was infamous. Teammates and opponents alike told stories of him staying in the gym until security literally kicked him out. If he lost a pickup game, he ran it back again and again until he won. When he wasn't on the court, he was watching film, studying the game at a level most pros never even reached. That's what Lucas and the Sixers saw that day. A teenager who was already living the life of an NBA star before he ever signed a contract. The significance of Kobe's workout with the Sixers isn't just in the highlight reels or the stories told years later. It mattered because it validated Kobe's belief in himself. It showed him that the gap between high school and the NBA wasn't as nearly as wide as everyone thought. It also shifted the perception of high school prospects. Kevin Garnett had already broken through in 1995 by going straight from high school to the league, but Kobe's workout and eventual draft entry helped solidify the idea that this path wasn't just possible, it could produce superstars. And for Philadelphia, it created one of the greatest what-ifs in basketball history. Imagine Kobe in a Sixers jersey, playing alongside Allen Iverson instead of against him. Imagine the city of Philly getting to claim one of its own. But fate had other plans. Years later, when asked about that Sixers workout, Kobe spoke with the same calm confidence he carried his whole career. "I knew I could play. It wasn't about proving it to them, it was about proving it to myself." And that's what made Kobe different. Most kids dream about making it to the NBA. Kobe expected it. And when the opportunity came to test himself against the best, he didn't blink. He attacked. He dominated. He took over. Kobe's 1995 workout with the Sixers had become a kind of hidden gem in basketball lore. It's not as famous as his 81-point game, not as celebrated as his 5 championships, but in many ways, it was the purest glimpse of who Kobe Bryant really was. A 17-year-old kid who didn't wait for permission, a teenager who forced grown men to respect him, a player who turned every gym, every practice, every single opportunity into a stage. And that day in Philadelphia, in front of a handful of NBA players who thought that they were about to take it easy on a high school kid, Kobe Bryant announced himself to the basketball world. Not with words, not with interviews, but with buckets. When we talk about Kobe Bryant today, we often remember the championships, the rivalries, the Mamba mentality. But the roots of that mentality can be traced back to moments like that 1995 workout with the Sixers. It was there that Kobe proved, first to himself, then to everyone else, that he was ready to bypass college, ready to challenge NBA players, ready to step onto the world's biggest stage without hesitation. Because Kobe Bryant was never going to wait his turn. At 17 years old, he was already taking over.